Dave, when you have someone like Justin Robleski, we know that he's been pounding the zone, but when he gets through 6 shutout innings without a strikeout, what does it just say as to how he's exactly kind of navigating through their lineup and what he's been able to do?
You know, I think it's what it does. It keeps the defense involved. He's got a good pace to him. You know, puts the ball in play, and obviously he'd like to get some more swing and miss. But you know, those guys are swinging the bats, and you know, hitting at guys and a lot of soft contact. And again, I just like the way that guys stay involved behind him. And you know, every single time he takes the baseball, we have an opportunity to win a game. Most importantly, and he goes deep in games. And so for me, I just feel like he's always prepared. Sequences differently, and just goes after guys.
Out of the game, you talked about the importance of getting things going early. Just to see those 2 runs in the second, did you feel like this was a good sign for the offense and how they can kind of continue to move in the right direction?
I think so. I think so. You know, I thought collectively the at-bats were good, and getting timely hits, having some good walks, some good at-bats, and you know, yeah, we didn't break out today, but we scored more than they did, so that's a good start.
With Robleski, you mentioned he's going deep pretty much every start, keeping them to 1 or no runs. Just what kind of team impact does that kind of ripple out with that consistency?
Yeah, you know, it's a team win. You know, guys with him, you know, he's going to go at guys. The defense feels like they're a part of it. They're on their toes, ready to make a play. And the bottom line is to get as many outs as you can, any way you can. And he's certainly been efficient. So it's not like, you know, he's not efficient and not striking guys out. He's efficient, getting guys out, most importantly, and getting out. So I love what he's doing. And it was good to get, you know, Tanner in there. It was good to get Blake in there. And up and down for Klein. So just across the board, just a good ball game.
Dave, the modern game will tell you that without swing and miss, results like Robleski's might not be sustainable. I think Robleski would be the first to say that he doesn't care. When you look at how he's attacking, and I think his tenacity for the first pitch strike and hammering the zone, how does that aggression maybe not reflect in the metrics, but reflect on him as a pitcher?
Well, I think that he is very understanding of the most important things to get out. And you're either going to chase strikeouts and work behind and nibble and not be efficient, go shorter in games, or you're going to keep going after guys and getting outs. And I think for me, just to kind of push back on the unlucky or the lucky part of things, is there's a lot of soft contact. There's a lot of lazy fly balls, soft grounders, pop-ups, and things like that. So is he going to have a 1 at the end of the day? Probably not, but I still think he's done a great job as a starting pitcher for us.
How far has he exceeded your expectations when you handed him the ball to start Mark?
You know, I don't, not really. I think that, you know, if you look at the stat line, probably exceeded. But I think that as far as expectations on what we were going to get when we give him the baseball, it's right in line. He's prepared. He goes after guys. He wears Skechers like Clayton does. So, you know, he does his side work with his full jersey like Clayton did. So he's got a great mentor in Clayton. And I think a lot of times, you know, he's channeling that kind of go at guys and make them, you know, put the ball in play.
Going back to Katie's question, like does it kind of feel sustainable? Like maybe not the 1 ERA, but just the ability to kind of generate soft contact with the way he's attacking.
I do. You know, I think a couple years ago there was that guy in Kansas City who had a heck of a year, and all year long you're saying it's not sustainable, and he kept putting ground balls, putting the ball on the ground, and had a nice year. So I don't know. You still got to play the games, and every start he makes. I feel good about us winning a game, so that's most important.
For you guys to kind of manufacture runs the way you did today, especially with like some of the 0-2 counts and just like the timely hits, like is that kind of going back to what you're talking about pregame, of just kind of doing whatever you need to find a way to win?
Yeah, today was kind of a day that we talked about before. It's like you just got to bow your neck and find a way to win, and it doesn't matter how good or how bad it looks. We needed a win today, so we can have a happy flight. And yeah, the 2 strike hits, the 2 out hits, sign of, you know, what we've done in the past.
Shohei managed to get on base a couple times today. Just the fact that I'm even mentioning that he went hitless in his last 4 games, what does it say about the benchmark that he set for himself? And then how has he been able to still remain even-keeled despite, at least by his standards, a little blip of adversity here?
Because, yeah, he certainly has high standards. We all do of him. I know he's frustrated, but you can't tell from his demeanor. he's going to come out of it at some point. But I think with him, there's a little bit of mechanics part that he's been talking about, and I thought we kind of figured that out at home. But I think this series, I don't think he felt great. In between a little bit on the pulled grounders, getting beat with the fly balls to the big part of the field. So a little in between, I think. But safe to say, fair to say that he'll figure it out soon.
Will that pitch affect his start Tuesday?
I don't think so.
Do you see the at-bat quality kind of up and down the lineup being markedly better than the past few days, or is it more like sticking to the approach of being better situations?
I thought the last 2 days were better. We still have a ways to go, though.
When you look at your offense still trying to get out of this, how important is it going to be for the rotation to continue being consistent?
Yeah, and that's the thing is that we've been getting really good pitching. We really have, from the starters, from the guys in the pen. So we are making life a little bit more difficult, not putting up a crooked number here or there. But it's important, because with that, you just feel like you have a chance to win every game.